Mheshimiwa Kabogo, the issue of trust, they have talked about mistrust in politics. Let me just put it this way. Do you trust yourselves as politicians?
Well, there's a big difference between politicians and leaders.
Yes.
These are politicians. And this is what they do every 5 years.
And you're a leader?
I'm a leader. Politicians think about the next general election.
Right.
Leaders think about the next generation. Some of these guys have been quiet and lost in oblivion somewhere for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Now that there is sight of election soon, now they start running around and forming teams. Some of them, what support do they have? Why is it that we always wait? Where has Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka been the last 5 years? The new coalition without Tinga, it's something to watch. I would want to imagine that they can put together 3 million votes. Tinga, Ruto, Axis, these are the people to watch.
Yeah.
And of course myself. Because
are you the third force?
I think I am part of the third force. This country requires new blood. The guys who you see running up and down now are the same people we know, the same people who've been there. If it's not 1963, it's 1997. Yeah. Until today. When is it that we will resonate with the movement of development, economic growth in our country? Just a few minutes ago, you were talking about why would we be buying fuel 127 shillings while Uganda is buying at 90 bob. Yet the fuel that goes to Uganda goes through Kenya.
Highway.
Yes, from Mombasa all the way. Yeah. Why is it that the cost of money is so expensive in this country? It's because we cannot match what we borrow and what we pay and how we use our money. The most expensive place to do tarmac, 1 kilometer in the whole world,
is Kenya.
Kenya. More expensive than Canada. To do a kilometer of tarmac here, you know, standard, 9 or 12 meter road, is approximately 85 million shillings a kilometer. And the same size of road in Canada will be something like 56 million shillings. Why would it be so expensive? You know? The same people who've been in leadership are the same people we keep juggling. You know, the same monkey, the same forest, but we expect different results. Yeah. So it's time that Kenyans need to get serious, because it's Kenyans who elect us. You would make this mistake every 5 years. Exactly. And then you continue complaining for another 5 years. So when is it that Kenyans will learn that let's do elections and bring into leadership people of integrity, people who can move this country to the next generation, to the next level. Yeah. And then this is not rocket science. From where I come from, they keep saying, no, we have been used like voting machines. Yeah. This is how we will vote because we have to punish someone. And we forget that that vote that you put in the box is what makes you have a good country. And that when is it that Kenyans will translate that vote into good leadership? Yes. Right.
And that brings me to the next question. Mt.Kenya, as at 2017 election, had 4.4 million registered voters.
We have about 5 million now.
Exactly. Yes. We had to see that revised voter registration register, whether it's gone up or it's other.
Of course, it should have gone up.
But then we come to realize that Mt.Kenya is now on the focal point, away from Western. Initially, people used to run to Western Kenya. Why is Mt.Kenya so much in the interest for the politicians? From your own understanding,
because people believe that votes are now available. It's the hunting field right now. If you look at the Honorable Deputy President, he's always there. Of late, the Honorable Mudavadi is also hunting. And the simple reason is they think that because Uhuru is not running, there will be no candidate in Mt.Kenya. Right. Who will be a threat And of course, 1.5 years or 1 year, 1 month is a long time in politics. And we are saying, even if we do not have a candidate by now, we need to be careful about what our interest is. Because people want to come and divide us, use the rich vote region to get a certain percentage that they will be looking for. But I'll tell you this. My job as a leader from the region is to unite the region, get minds that think alike, come together, and tell our people that, you know, our strength is our numbers, and our unity is our greatest strength in terms of where we want to take the country, because no one setup, organization, OKA or any other, would form government one go if the region of Mount Kenya is united and is speaking in one voice. We would have to consult.
Is it deliberate to divide Mount Kenya east and west?
It is deliberate, yes, and that's why we are saying we will resist. We will make sure that we speak in one voice, and wherever we go, that's where government is going. But it's unfortunate that people think of us otherwise, but it's numbers. Democracy is about numbers. The majority have their way, the minority have their say. In this case, we're a majority. We're the single largest voting bloc.
But does it worry you?
And in this coming election, what's going to happen, my prediction, never wrong, is that there will not be a clear 50+1.
Oh, really?
In first round. It will not happen. If the numbers we see now and the coalitions we see forming now, if, for example, Raila Odinga does not go with OKA, William Ruto goes in, OKA has a candidate, Raila Odinga has a candidate, we have a candidate from the region, you cannot get a straight 50+1. You will not manage to, because you need 24. You need to be able to get 25% in 24 counties. That is an impossible task with such divisions. So what will happen is the first two will have a rerun, which will just require simple majority.
Simple majority.
Yes.
Right.
And if, for example, Kabogo is a candidate, and I happen to be number 2, and we go in, 2 of us, it will be a clear win, because you need only 50+1, 50 of what is voted, not registered.
Yes.
If we have 3 million votes cast on that day, and you have 1,501.
That's it.
That's it.
Is that the game plan for the front runners?
That would be the game plan as I see it today.
Right.
Yes.
What is the biggest threat in terms of Mount Kenya? Because somebody say that Mount Kenya has always been in government all years through. Does this worry you as leaders from the region?
I do not think that Mount Kenya has always been in government.
Right.
We had 24 years of Moi rule. I don't think Mount Kenya was in government then. And what is important is not to think about a region being in government.
Right.
How will the country be governed in a manner that helps the entire nation without thinking about where one comes from? And I'll tell you, for Mount Kenya, right now we're in government, or we are a government, or the president is from our region. Does it mean we don't have people going hungry in Mount Kenya?
They are.
Does it mean we do not have an employment rate, very high unemployment rates in Kenya?
Right.
We're actually the ones that suffer most. So time will come when Kenyans stop thinking about tumetoka wapi, kiti ni yetu. And I always ask in Swahili, because it's best asked in Swahili, ni nani ataenda nyumbani leo apate unga umeletwa zaidi hapo Mount Kenya kwa sababu mheshimiwa rais ni mkaaji ama ni mtu ametoka Mount Kenya. Who will go to Kisumu tonight and get an extra piece of fish because Raila is in government? This is the thinking that has been put in our people, that we must think hiyo ni yetu, but it's never yours. No, ni huyo na familia yake. Never ours. It is the president and his family. He earns his salary. And he should not be in office to favor his own family, to favor his own region, to favor his own community. It is the Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
When is it that we will start thinking that way? And that's the dilemma that I find myself in as a person who is thinking about how do we make Kenya a middle-class economy.
And that is the dilemma that is facing the Jubilee government now.
And you will see recently there was something that they were calling Kazi Mtaani. I don't know whether you remember something like that.
Right.
And we had graduates, engineers,
who are in the trenches,
doctors at the trenches. And that is something to be proud about, that you have taken your child to school, sold almost everything that is under your name, to take that child to school to become an engineer or a doctor, and yet they cannot find a job. They get a job for 450 shillings to sweep the streets. We cannot be proud as a country. When is it that we will be able to engage all these idle young men and women?
Exactly.
They will not be young forever.
Time is catching.
Time is catching up when they will get to the streets and say enough is enough. And then the war then will not be tribal. It will be between the haves and the have-nots.
Let me bring this aspect here. It seems that it's now enough is enough for the Jubilee administration and the Jubilee party. And perhaps, are you privy with the information that is going out? Jubilee is starting to sweep and clean its house. The embarrassment which was in Kiamba was perhaps a bitter pill to swallow.
One, I'm not a member of Jubilee.
Right.
I was thrown out of Jubilee during the last election.
Right.
So, and I became the president of the independent candidates.
Right.
But what's happening in Jubilee happens every 5 years. We start new parties every time there is change of regime. Or when there is change of guard at the Hill. You remember Mwenge. It came in to remove Moi. After that, it was Kibaki's time to leave. And this is how we made TNA URP. It is now time for Uhuru Kenyatta to leave. And you can see the division. It's there. It's a fact. When will we get to a situation where we will have parties like, the American Republicans and Democrats, so that it is a matter of ideologies, it's a matter of principle. Although America is going the other way, they are trying to start looking at us as a bench-making place where you do bad politics. But it is because we only think about winning. We only think about who is going to go there. Why is Jubilee in the situation it finds itself in?
That's the question.
It's simply because they do not know where to go next. What's their plan? What's their plan? What is Jubilee's plan? What is Uhuru Kenyatta's plan? Nobody seems to understand. Nobody seems to know. And then you will find people saying, no, Uhuru Kenyatta doesn't want to leave office. He has no choice. He has to leave office. The Katiba we have says a maximum of two terms. So where are these people getting this notion that Uhuru doesn't want to leave? And by the way, but we are a country that is fed with a lot of propaganda. And propaganda in Kenya it takes center stage.
Perhaps, Governor, you are the right person I should ask this question. Kiamba is in Kiambu County. And you are the governor of Kiambu County. You know the terrain. You know the topography of that particular region as it is, in and out.
To be honest, what is there is just protest.
What is happening?
It's just protest. They say, we want to teach Uhuru Kenyatta a lesson. And
is that so?
And I ask myself, how do you teach him a lesson by just voting someone who is not in his party? What lesson did he learn? What lesson did Uhuru learn in Juja? Yes, he continues to do his job as people continue to suffer. When is it that we will turn our mentality and vote because we want work done? Of course, Kenyans, what happens to Kenyans when they say someone is being terrorized, so to speak, or his government is on his case. Kenyans tend to follow that side. If we have a by-election, touch wood, I don't want anyone to die, and I have a party my own, and I put in a candidate, you will not see the same things you saw in Kiamba. It will be something else altogether. So anyone who is celebrating that, you know, Mount Kenya is available and it's up for me only, you'll be shocked.
Mount Kenya is not available?
You will be shocked.
What's the game plan as leaders from the mountain?
Is to put our people together so that we have bargain. So that we have a stake in making Kenya what it ought to be, not in bringing goodies home. My theory about what needs to happen in Kenya is not regional. It's about national. How is it that we can improve the lives of Kenyans? How is it that we can make it a middle economy? How is it that we can, you know, eliminate unemployment in terms of white, blue-collar jobs? When is it that we can make Kenya a working nation? We are talking about theft of 2 billion shillings a day.
A day.
When is it that we will, you know, cut corruption with 70%? Because you cannot eliminate corruption. But you can cut it down. If we were to cut corruption down by 50%, that would mean a saving of 1 billion shillings every day. Why wouldn't our fuel be cheaper? Why wouldn't medicine be available? Why wouldn't we have revolving loan funds run at every ward level to give employment to these young men and women who are jobless?
Mheshimiwa, we have 1 year and 5 days exactly to an election, and President,
it's like 100 years. That's a very long time in politics.
For politicians, that's like 1 billion years. Let me just extend it.
Anyone celebrating right now that you have a clear win, you will be shocked.
What is now left for President Uhuru Kenyatta as the president of this republic to bring?
I would not worry about the next president. I would worry how peaceful will Kenya be after my regime. How will the economy be after my regime? He still has 365 days that he would do something to make this country a better place.
370 days.
Yes, but if he imagines that he would want to influence what happens next, then he will lose the ball. He needs to keep his eye on the ball, and his eye is, what are we going to do about COVID-19? I just had this morning someone telling me they had gone to some function in Kajiado someplace, and this person lost an uncle and 7 other relatives in a span of 1 week.
The same thing happened in Kiambu County, where father, mother, and husband, and a daughter-in-law.
And what is it we are doing as a country? Why can't we now divert our attention from all the shenanigans about politics, from development expenditure that is, you know, tarmac versus life? We need to make these choices today. What is it that government can do? What is Parliament doing today? You know, what makes me really sick is you will find MPs who are running around the country saying how they will improve the economy after next election and how people will not be overtaxed. Yet it is them who tax us. Taxation is done at Parliament. It is not the president that taxes the country. The president's minister gives a proposal on the proposed government expenditure for the following year and how that expenditure will be made. How will they raise funding for that expenditure? If that funding, part of it is taxation, it goes through Parliament. And if they want to make changes, they can call, Muturi can call Parliament now and say enough is enough.
Reviews.
Let's close these expenses. Let's stop this, even if it's development. Let's now cater for Kenyans' lives. And we get the whole country vaccinated. You can see America is 84% vaccinated. Out of 47 million, we have only 1 million vaccinated. And you can see the wrath of this Delta
that's a big danger.
It is a big danger. But our MPs don't care. No. When you see us going to these rallies and doing all these things, all those guys on the high table, on the dais, are vaccinated. But the entire Mwananchi, all that crowd, maybe 1%.
Does that worry you?
It worries me, yes. That's why you saw when we were in Mount Kenya, I said, I will not participate in any meeting that is not COVID compliant. And that's why you saw all those tents had seats well spaced. Everyone had to have a mask. In every table, at every 3 meters, was a sanitizer. If we all do that, we will not super spread the disease. So when you take this disease to a shosho in a village, they cannot afford masks. They can barely afford a meal. And what's government doing at this point in time?
Shillings.
Yes, and also, of course, feeding. Feeding people who are hungry. We are told that 1.9 million people lost jobs in the last 18 months. So what are they eating, this 1.9 million people? And assume every job holder has 6 people in the family. So you would put 1.9 by 6. That's the number of people who are going hungry. While we are worried about the next general election.
You are a leader of this country, and you've been traversing this particular nation from end to end. What is the mood on the ground right now?
The mood of the people is they are upset. People are sick and tired of this government, but they don't understand. It is not this government. This has been the trend from 1963.
So it is not this particular government that they should be blaming.
They will get another one and start complaining the following day.
So how do you change the perception then? Because
by kicking out these fellows, new change, new blood. Let's try it again. Let's try afresh. That's all we need. You cannot have the same monkeys in the same forest.
Is that why you want to be the president?
Yes, that's why I want to be president. And things will change. I did it in Kiambu. It worked. It could happen again in this country. We can put a stop to this shenanigans. But now, Oloo is bad, Ruto is good. When did that happen? You tell me. When did that happen? Who decided? When is it they split and one became better than the other? If this government has succeeded, it is both of them. If they have failed, it is both of them.
Could stop here.
Yes, it is them. One is the president, one is the deputy president. But because there is a problem now in the last 3 years, now we start saying, oh, we think this one will be better. They are the same people.
The humiliation we've seen and all over the papers, we have got the Daily Nation
about the airport
and the Star here, route of foreign trips must be approved and all that.
That's a little bit tricky. One, it is a very sad story. Because that is the office of the president. That is the presidency.
And it's exposed
that is the presidency. I do not understand under what circumstances, so I may be limited in what I say, but it is not a good image. It doesn't give us a good picture as a country. Probably some of these things are things that should never ever happen, because it gives us an image of a rogue nation, of a nation that is not together, of a nation that has the top leaders fighting. What would it have taken for William Ruto, His Excellency the Deputy President, to make a call to Kenya and say, I will be leaving the country tomorrow? So make sure it's known at the airport that I will be leaving. I am imagining, I don't know the circumstances, but it is a sad story. It should never ever happen. Of course, people have to flex muscle. Because if you're my deputy and you do not toe the line, then I need to find a way of dealing with you. And if you're my boss and you're not friendly, I also need to know how to deal with you. So these are the things that we are seeing. And at the end of the day, when the elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers.
And this
so we are the grass that is suffering here.
It exposes the soft, you know, the cracks in between the president and his deputy. This perhaps is not good for the country.
We probably need to take all of them home, including my friend Tia. So we have a fresh beginning. We tried. Nothing's going to happen. Kenya is going to be there. This is what gives me hope. Kenya is going to be there after these people, after us. It will be there. It is the Kenyan population that should decide what do they want with their country.
But do we ever learn as a nation?
We never learn, because during elections, like what you saw in Kiamba, money was everywhere. and people put their vote. They forgot that that money will go with the elections.
But perhaps, Mheshimiwa,
it's not there anymore.
That's how you politicians condition our minds.
Yeah, but you know, politicians don't live in a vacuum. They live where people live. It is the tabia. It is the tabia of the people.
Yeah.
We have trained our people's minds to think that way. When is it that a man with a good idea will find himself in parliament by selling his good idea, by talking to people? It will never happen. And that's why you continue getting the leadership that we have. You keep asking, where did so-and-so come from to be governor? Where did so-and-so come from to be governor of the city? It is from the votes of the people. And you know, people keep saying, no, God will give us a leader. God does not give leaders. You know, God never puts his... God doesn't vote, right?
Go there and campaign.
God does not vote. You pray for bad leadership, God gives it to you. That's what the Bible says. He gives us the wishes of our hearts.
Yes.
So if we desire bad leadership like Hitler, like Idi Amin, he would give you Idi Amin. You dance in, you sleep in the bed that you make. So we are the people that make this bed. We sleep on it. We are about to make a new mistake another 1 year from now.
As it is, gloves are literally off.
They're off.
And everybody is now punching where he or she can find that soft spot.
What we need to tell the Kenyan population is that let's realize that it is us that is the problem. It is not these guys.
Yeah.
We are the ones who elect them. When is it that we'll say no to that kind of election? When is it that we will look and say, if we elect so-and-so, this person will take us to the next level? When is it that we'll be able to hold these people to be responsible for what it is that they do? Yes. But they start now selling propaganda left, right, and center. It is them, it is them, it is them. We are caught in between, and we put the vote as they direct us. Only after 3 months, we start crying.
Let me come back to you.
How many times have we recalled an MP? And yet there is a clause in the Constitution of recall. When is it we tried?
Mheshimiwa, I hope it's not too late to ask you this question. Do you feel that the Kiambu people betrayed you in the last election?
They betrayed themselves.
No.
They wanted to punish me.
Did they?
They said, how? Do I look punished? I was there to work.
Do you miss that office?
I miss the things that we would have done. Of course, now they say, afadhali, Kabogo, because they've seen the difference between what they did and what we were doing, or what is going on now and what was going on then. Probably if we were there now, Kiambu would be probably the first county to be self-reliant in terms of finances. I was sure that, almost 100% sure that would have raised 80% of our revenues locally. Because, you know, we moved revenues in 1.5 years from 700 million a year to 2.7 billion. If that trend had continued, probably another 3 or 4 years, Kiambu, just like Kano in Nigeria, would have managed to finance its own development and probably become a donor to other lesser fortunate counties. But that didn't happen. But it's still not lost. There's still not lost. We've lost a lot of time. But all is not lost.
All is not lost.
If we can get good leadership at the county levels, and stop, you know, the biggest problem in this country is corruption. If that could be minimized at the county level, this country's growth would go up to 18% a year.
Talk of counties, and now let's talk about devolution. We are in a complete new era of dispensation and what have you. Being the first governor of Kiambu, what's your take on devolution to this end?
The best thing that would ever have happened in this country is devolution. Again, its only problem is devolved corruption. We remove corruption from Nairobi and take it to the counties. If corruption can be dealt with at the national level and at the county level, half of the money that is in society would be twice as it is. Meaning, if you had 10 kilometers of tarmac, you would have 20. If you have probably $1 billion shillings in terms of loans to young men and women who do not have collateral to borrow in the money market, you would have $2.5 billion instead of $1. So growth will be twice what it is today. And this is something we should be proud of, because we gave ourselves this in Katiba 2010. All we need to do is improve on it. But you will find people who think that the devolution is not working, should be killed, and we take back money to Nairobi. These are the thugs that want to continue raping from stealing from this country.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it doesn't mean that, you know, that there's a cry, no, let's not take money to the counties because these people will continue stealing. Do not elect thieves. You understand? Do not elect thieves. You cannot stop, you cannot tell us not to take money to devolution because it is going to smaller kings and thieves. Do not elect them. Elect responsible
my
people,
tells me that
improve our laws so that we're able to curtail corruption and we're able to see it as it happens. You know, the president or the deputy president or the governor doesn't go to the bank to steal. There are clerks in their offices. There are people who process documents. These people are involved in corruption. And
as we come to an end, Mheshimiwa, is devolution a form of bottom-up model?
You know, people just want to use big names of bottom, down, side. You know,
is that what we're talking about?
That's what people want us to believe. You know, Joe Biden came in with his vice president on the same argument of bottom up. Devolution is bottom up. It is from down at the very bottom of society. Take the resources there and let the people grow from there. There is no science, there's no rocket science on bottom up. There's no rocket science at all. It is take it to the people. Let it be there. The first thing we give ourselves is the capacity to decide for ourselves what is important. And that is the core thing about devolution. Participation of the people. So it is the people who are deciding what it is that is important for them. What else can you call bottom? This is right from the bottom. But people want to give, you know, technical jargon names of bottom-up approach. I saw a lawyer would not even explain what bottom-up means.
It's confusing people.
And she was really hard task to explain, but she could not. It is a simple thing. Let it start from the ground, not Nairobi.
So devolution,
it is at the village.
Technically, devolution
that's what it is. Bottom-up, yes. So what they should be saying, let us strengthen devolution. Let us finish corruption, and this country will grow.
I'm told time is up, but in just 10 seconds, where do we see you in next year? Just 1 year to go. In 20 seconds,
hopefully in the team that will take Kenya to the next level. Hopefully. If people decide they want this country to grow, we must decide in the beginning. Sit on your vote and let it take you. Let your vote take you to that place. That's what we're saying in Swahili. Jameni. Tujipange. Tujipange ama tupangwe. Tukipangwa tutapangika. Tukipangika na sisi tunyamaze.
Promise me you'll be back.
Na ndipo tunasema tujibebe.
Tujibebe.
Yes, we must carry ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Promise me you'll be back.
I will be back.
Shika simu ukipigiwa.
Inshallah, I'll be back.
Shika simu ukipigiwa.
The
producer said that you know
I get like 300-400 calls a day.
But there is that particular one from Ben producer. Shika hiyo.
Sasa awe akiniandikia asubuhi anasema ndugu karibu tena.
Karibu tena.
Yes,
thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
We've been talking to former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo. We've talked a bit. I mean, the way.
But that was very short.
Time runs
Make
so
it
fast.
Longer. So that we can talk to mwananchi.
I promise I'll give you.
We must tell Kenyans, musisikize hizi porojo. Weka kura yako kwa makini ili ikufanyie kazi. Lakini ile 200 unachukua. Ukichukua hiyo, please shut up for the next 5 years.
And on that note, we are taking a break. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Ndio namna hiyo bwana.